Most productivity systems suck. I don't want to wake up at 5 in the morning and take a cold shower every single day. That sounds absolutely miserable. There are much better ways to become productive. In this video, I'm going to provide a system to become more productive without becoming miserable. First is the Pareto principle. The Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule, suggests that in many situations, approximately 80% of the effects come from 20% of the causes. For example, 80% of a company's profit might come from 20% of its products and services. Eliminating 20% of errors in a software can eliminate 80% of crashes. Twitter laid off 80% of its employees, and yet Facebook is the one that had a disruption this past week. To apply this principle to your life, identify all the tasks that you need to complete in a day, week, or month and rank order them in terms of impact, and then get to work on the top 20%. You will likely get 80% of the results. Second is the Eisenhower matrix. When it comes to prioritizing tasks, Eisenhower said it best. In a 1954 speech, he said, "I have two kinds of problems, the urgent and the important. The urgent are not important and the important are never urgent." This quote translates into a useful matrix. The x-axis denotes urgency and the y-axis denotes importance. Quadrant 1 is urgent and important. Items in this quadrant require your immediate attention and should be at the top of your to-do list. When something is urgent, it must be done now, and there are clear consequences if you don't complete these tasks within a certain timeline. For example, this could be a project with an imminent deadline, addressing a family emergency, or a crisis at work. These are tasks that you can't avoid, that require your specific skill set, and that will stress you out the longer you delay them. Quadrant 2 is not urgent and important. The items that could fall into this quadrant are planning for long-term career development, exercising regularly, and saving for retirement. All of these items are important, but you're not going to lose sleep over them. Schedule it in your calendar to tackle these items and address them after you tackle Quadrant 1. Quadrant 3 is urgent and not important. This is an interesting one. Think about the subject line of emails in your work inbox. Report needed today. Urgent, deadline for survey next week. These emails sound urgent, right? How many of you received emails like these in your inbox and felt the urge to drop everything and just respond? What if the report in question could be sent by someone else on your team? What if the survey in question could be completed by a junior member of the team? These type of tasks don't require your specific skill set and are prime for delegation. But before you rush off to delegate, protect your time. These interruptions just kill your productivity. Instead, I recommend silencing your email notifications and creating a space during the day for deep work. Use this time to work on Quadrant 1 items. Trust me, no one is going to die if you don't reply to these emails or delegate them right away. Quadrant 4 is not urgent and not important. Do I even need to explain this one? Browsing the web, checking Instagram, watching TV, majority of work emails, the list is endless. You know what to do. Select, press delete, and move on. Third is eat the frog. Mornings are sacred to me. My mind is fresh, body's energized, and ready to tackle anything. And this is where a quote by Mark Twain becomes pertinent. If it's your job to eat a frog, it's best to do it first thing in the morning. In practice, this means identifying the most important item on your to-do list, which is usually the task that feels like it's going to be extra hard to finish, and making it your primary focus. The basic idea is that your efforts will have the most impact when you narrow your focus. Be precious with this time though. Use the Pareto principle and the Eisenhower matrix to identify the most important, difficult, urgent, and high-impact item. Then get to work. I can guarantee that you will enter a flow state and remain there for longer in the morning. Don't waste that precious time on useless, low-impact things like checking your emails, browsing the web, and overloading on meetings. Eating your frog first thing in the morning also starts your day on a positive, empowering note. You get the satisfaction of accomplishing something, and hopefully those feel-good endorphins make the rest of your day feel less bumpy and more happy. Fourth is Parkinson's law. Have you ever put off a project until the last minute even though you knew it would only take a few hours to complete? That's procrastination at its finest. It's also Parkinson's law in action. Parkinson's law is the idea that your work will expand to fill the time allotted for its completion. This law can come into play when juggling work deadlines or managing projects. Studies show that when given a task, we think about how much time is available to complete the task instead of how much time we actually need. This mindset results in wasted time and inefficient workflows. To overcome this problem, use the Pareto principle and the Eisenhower matrix to prioritize your tasks. Then create self-imposed deadlines to complete those tasks. Without deadlines, there is no sense of urgency. Why work today when you can work tomorrow? To avoid this trap, establish deadlines based on how much time you think is actually needed, not the maximum time available. To get work done, create an environment that is free of distractions. This means turning off the notifications on your phone, removing any visual or auditory distractions, and deploying the Pomodoro technique. For this technique, use a timer to work for 25 minutes without interruption. Focus only on the task at hand until the timer goes off. When the timer goes off, take a 5-minute break. After that, set the timer for another 25 minutes. Keep doing this until either the task is completed or you complete 4 Pomodoro cycles. At that point, take a 15 to 30-minute break, then repeat. Fifth is a rapid-fire bonus round. If a task takes less than 2 minutes to complete, do it immediately. If you have trouble memorizing information, create acronyms with the first letter of each word that you need to remember. Make the acronym something interesting. You'll have an easier time remembering it. If you wait for motivation to arrive in order to do work, just know that it's never coming. A brain in rest will remain that way until it's given a swift kick in the pants. Take action first, motivation follows. If you like these tips, give this video a like and subscribe to the channel.